So the boss is here. You the boss? You the boss? Yeah, you want to see what's in there? Who's in there? Here, watch. Daddy's in here, you see? And we get William, but you can't see William there. All right, so me and Mr. William and Grant, I don't know where Timothy disappeared to, but we're getting there. I got this cleaned up enough with the grinder to get it on there, and it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty damn good. So the majority of the wear is right here. You see how that thing is wobbling around? What I'm gonna do is actually push it forward like so, okay? And I'm not gonna do anything with that right now. I'm not gonna weld it yet. The welder is here, but William is here and I don't wanna blind him. So we'll just kind of leave him there. But I'm gonna push this thing as far forward as I can so that the gap is at the front, so it pushes the whole header forward. You want the whole header to go forward. You don't want it to be back, because back is where we got the problem. So I'll push it as far forward as I can, and then I will weld that. Now this one here, what? You see it? This one over here, this is the piece that is really worn, and you should be able to see in there. I know you're not going to be able to feel it, but there's a lip here where my finger is, my fingernail, you can catch it. So all that wear is on the back side of that thing, and yeah, not so much here. There's no wear there at all, and you can see that I'm catching my finger on it, whereas here it just slides right off. So what has to be done is this is fine. The back side, there's nothing welded on the back side. So I'm just gonna set that thing there to the side for a moment. And I guess I could set you here while I get this turned around. So what I'm gonna do is what I'm gonna do to hold this thing, pretty simple. Simple solution to a complex problem. I'm just gonna drop a bolt down in there, right? And I'm gonna do this. So now that I've got that bolt in there, I tighten that up on the bolt and it won't come off. Now it's gonna hold it enough that I can move my grinder and stuff around and get that out of there. Fortunately for me, Krone was pretty awesome about this. They left it unwelded right here. I don't know if you could see that, but it's not welded. They stopped the weld there and they started the weld here, or vice versa. They went all the way around. So really, technically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get the cutter blade. I'm going to set that grinder on its edge, no guard, one-handed. I'm going to cut that thing all the way around there. All right, and when I'm done cutting that all the way around there, I'm going to pop it off, and then I'm going to take this guy here, yes, the new piece, which will fit in there okay without any issue, and I'm going to cut a flat spot on the grinder, or with the grinder. I could put it in a milling machine. Yes, I have one. I'm going to cut a flat spot in there so that it will pass this piece of steel here, that stud. And yeah, there's some wear on this one, but you know, it's not the end of the world. The bushing I have to buy for that, but yeah. So I'm going to cut a flat spot in there so that it'll fit down into its groove where it belongs, and we'll call it a day. What I'm going to do then, after I'm done with that, is actually drill a hole through this thing and put a grease zerk in there just for shits and giggles, or gits and shiggles, one or the other. I was talking to a fella today, Charles Ortega, and he was here, and he's like, you know, it would be really good is if you cut a groove around that bronze bushing. Well, I agree with him. I do agree with him. I actually think that the grease should be, the groove should be cut in the other piece, the piece that I'm going to weld on there. But no matter what I do, it's got to be done, and I got to make up my mind. I don't know, I think it'll actually go all the way around, but because those pieces do, honestly, I should drill 2 holes, tap 2 of them in, so that it's in the side that wears so much, which the side that wears so much is the back side. So if the back side, which is this side here, if I put a grease zerk right there, right in here, it would grease the area in which it's wearing really bad. So, you know, I'm gonna get to cutting this. I gotta make sure William is okay. He's around here on the snowmobile. That's another thing that needs to be welded. Anyway, this got problems. It's an old sled, just like a 2000, something like that. But William likes it, right, Will? Yeah, snowmobile. Yeah, snowmobile. Anyway, here we go. Alright, so I got it clamped up. I cleaned it up and I've clamped it up. I've used this G clamp here. This is not a C clamp, it is a G clamp. This came out of Bethlehem steel. I have two of them. I don't see the other one. It better not have walked off. That's a funny thing about these heavy-duty clamps like that. They're very, very hard to come by, and they grow legs really easy, and they just walk away. But I bought those for like 20 bucks for 2 of them. They're well worth that money. And let's see, this is a Chicago Boiler Company G-clamp. Anyway, there's a difference between a C-clamp and a G-clamp. Now, these things, this one is very different than the other one. I'm gonna have to weld a bead along the edge here. But before I do that, I wanna clean it up. And I'm just getting everything settled in the way it should be. I'm gonna run a bead clear around here to this point, and then from here to that point. And then I'm gonna clean that up with a the little flap disc. And then I'm gonna weld a bead right across the face of that thing. And hopefully that holds it in place. You really don't want it to have any way to lift or separate, because if it can, it will, and if it will, it'll ruin your day. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing over to the welder. And I think the welder is ready to go, and take it over to the welder instead of bringing the welder over here. I could use the stick welder, but I'm just not in the mood. I'm just gonna tack it up anyway, and then do the flapper disc thing, and then I'll go ahead and weld it all the way around. I do want it tacked up so I can get everything out of my way, so that I can just get it right on around the corners where it needs to be. But she's settled in there really nice. Really nice. Seems to be, it looks as though there's a little bit of a gap there, but it's not. That was from the it was from the flapper disc. It is setting level and flat on the bottom side. It's just the flapper disc I gouged out just a little too much right there. And that there, same thing in that spot right there. And yeah, because of the direction, I had to really get in there and grind it. So, and it's not really super imperative that it is running flat as a pancake on there. At least I don't believe it is. I mean, I guess I could probably release that and probably put that G-clamp and run it over there now, maybe. I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out.
No, but just put in the rest of these? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be Sarah, right?
I'm gonna put a damn grease zerk in there.
Auto or?
Oh, you know, I don't think I can tap into the auto one. If I had a T,
Well, wasn't there a line that ran down to here that we didn't use?
No, it's used. That's on the automatic.
No. Yeah, if you could tee it off of here, you could run it up and in.
Front.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. You know, as long as whoever's in here greasing, just open the door and grease it. It ain't that difficult.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we gotta do this job here, which is gonna be the pain in the ass.
With that shaft?
No, the bolts have gotta get into that hole.
Ooh.
In that hole, so it fell down from this. If it goes, I don't know, you can get under there, go over there and pick it up. The whole spine, you're holding the whole spine. Oh! Is it falling? Yes. Well, what has it done?
It looks like it's fallen and rotated down. It needs to get picked up and rotated back.
Picked up in the back. Get back here.